ஓகே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா? ஒரு நிமிஷம். ஒன்னு அன்மியூட்ல இருக்கா?
I have unmuted.
ஓகே ஓகே
பின்னால இருந்து ரொம்ப காந்தி மாதிரி தெரிஞ்சதா சொல்றேன்.
சரி ஓகே ஓகே. Students, good morning to one and all. Welcome to webinar alumni series. It's my pleasure to welcome our alumnus, Mr.D.Prajnay, 2012 batch. Currently, he is working in Accenture, project leader in Hyderabad. He's our second batch of AI department. Now I request Prajnay to give a speech. Students, I have one more request. If you have any queries, raise your hand. I will unmute your audio, or else you can type your questions in your chat box. Yes, Prajnay can proceed. Yes, Prajnay can proceed.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Hello, everybody. Very good morning to all of you. I guess we have second years and third years from E&I. About me, I am Prajnay, and I am from the 2008 and 2012 batch of E&I. And I was the class CR for the first 3 years. So we just had voting in first year, and post that in second and third year, I was unanimously selected as the class representative. There was no opposition for me. So that's about me in college. And right now, I'm working as a team lead in Accenture. And I kind of got placed from SRM. So for the first 5.5 years, I was there in Chennai, and now the rest 6.5 years here in Hyderabad. So it has been like 8 years in Accenture and 4 years in SRM. And I have never imagined, like, when you come to college from city through the train or through bus, you see the Accenture building there at Perangulathur. It was like we were not aware back in 2008. It was just constructed building. We were not aware what Accenture was, what that building is, if it really was an IT company. So we were not sure about those details. But see, look at destiny. I just got joined in the same office, which was very close to office. So once I got placed in the final year, I was still there in Urapakam for a few days. So instead of going towards Katankulathur, I was going in the opposite direction, same kilometers I used to travel. So that is like very surprising, for me to kind of get placed and go to the office, which I was not even thinking what exactly it was when we joined. So that's about me. And 2 weeks back, I got a call from Asunta ma'am. She was asking like to give this alumni talk. So this is the second time for me. First time it was back in 2013. It was more in person, and it was I think for a smaller group. It was just for one section of third years and regarding placements and all. And now second time it is more virtual. So for us, the IT employees, we kind of are used to these video calls now because of the lockdown. I would also like to know how you people are kind of doing in this lockdown. So we kind of are getting used to all these video calls now. So I kind of set my bed before I get into any call, comb my hair. I have my headphones ready here in the corner. So every time there's a call with anybody from office, we just turn on our video and we started doing it. So the funny part is we never used to have video calls when we were in office, but post this lockdown, it is more like a trend or fashion that we are following to have these video calls. So looking forward to talk to you all. I hope I can make this session a little interesting and interactive. Let's see how it goes. And again, a point to be mentioned, when Madam had called and she was saying that she wanted people like me who were 6-pointers to talk about, and people want to also know from our experiences how it is going to be. So I was first initially confused. I was trying to understand if she was trying to appreciate us or what she was sarcastic, but I know she was being sarcastic. And I think she wanted to just take revenge of how like we used to be notoriously pulling her leg or making fun of staff in classroom. So for that, I think this is the revenge that she has planned for us. So, but yeah, bottom line is we are happy that there are people who want to also listen to us six pointers and get motivated with what we are going to talk. So I kind of planned of having talk about my last 2 years in college, that is third and fourth year, and then the placements, and then um, how it was when I joined Accenture and what I'm currently doing in Accenture or in IT. So this is the format which I have thought about, which I'll be talking to you guys. Um I'm not sure if I'll be executed in the way how I have thought, but I'll just try to make it happen. And another thing is, I'm giving you a disclaimer before itself that don't expect that all your questions will be answered once this session gets over. It's just more of an informative session. So this is not kind of a motivational talk, but it's more of to take pressure off you people, right? So that is how this is going to be. Just to highlight that, don't expect that all your questions will be answered with this talk of which I'm going to give you. So you guys have anything? You guys can, as ma'am just said, you guys can stop me anywhere, and you can ask me any questions, or you can also relate to the stories which I'm going to tell from my college or my college especially, and then my experiences in Accenture, right? So yeah, any questions? Anyone you want to have ask me any questions? Anything before we get started?
No, if there is any question, I will inform.
Okay, sure. Okay. Uh, so as I said, I want to talk about my last 2 years of BTech, that is the third and fourth year, and then the placements and all stuff. So I want to like start the last like the third year from like it was after the semester holidays. I was in Hyderabad. So currently I stay in Hyderabad and my native is Hyderabad. So once the second year, fourth semester holidays were over, we had to come back to college for our third year. So our results were already out by then, and like three of us were traveling back together, and all three of us had arrears in the same subjects. So if I remember, it was LIC, communication engineering, and something else. Sorry. So what happened was all our parents had also come to station to see us off, and we did not inform our parents about the arrears that we got, that the results were already out and the arrears that we have. So we were like, three of us were looking at each other and just praying to God that hope they don't start off any conversation asking if the results are out, when are they going to tell you the results, so what are you guys think about your results. So just waiting for the moment for the train to start so that we can get into it and none of them start any of these conversations. And once the train started, we three sat and we were like laughing so badly, thinking like we just escaped from that. And that was the thing that we still remember. Just praying to God, like hope our parents don't start this conversation of results. And then shifts to when we came to college. Uh, so when we came to college, like after a few months of the fifth semester, things started more of like placements are going to start from seventh semester and about the final year project. So we were already given, like we were already being told about things are going to come, and they were also talking about the cutoff for placements and all stuff. So at that point is when we kind of got little frightened, but and we were kind of thinking of how to clear those areas in fifth semester itself and not keep it till the till the sixth semester. We wanted to clear it in fifth itself so that we don't put too much pressure on us when we enter into the sixth semester, right? So we were trying to we were like along with those three areas, we also wanted to clear the six subjects that we have in fifth semester. So we were just praying to God, thinking that whenever, like just before exam, we were praying to God thinking that the easiest paper, like we used to have three sets of paper, right? So we're just thinking that we get the easy paper for exam. And uh, like the way how we used to prepare is go to one of the guy who was very good at some particular subject, sit with him, and he used to teach us like the whole topic in like 15 minutes. And then uh, Murli, can you go off mute, please? Fine. Yeah, so we used to go to the not say topper, but a person who was very good in some particular subject, and we used to go sit with him, and he used to explain us the diagram and the input output stuff, and we used to be like confident enough. Okay, now we know the idea of the flow, and then we will probably write it in our own words in the answer sheet, and we can get some good marks. And we also used to go with our instincts, saying, okay, we'll read these important questions. So these had come as part of the midterm exams or etc. etc. So let's prepare for prepare those questions and go. And we used to like Bhagwan se ek hi prarthana hota tha. We used to talk to him, like we used to pray to God, saying that please just make sure that the questions that we have prepared only come in the question paper, so that we can clear at least now. So that is how it was. There was a little tense moment in fifth semester when they were talking about what that you people should have this criteria to sit for placements, and also we just did not want to delay it till the sixth and get our subjects to get accumulated. But yeah, we just made sure that we cleared most of them in fifth, and I think we did a like I think maybe it was more of a little fear from inside, or maybe the zeal of like till then we had not seen flunking in any subjects, right? So uh, and like I think that was one of the motivation for us, and also the placements were kind of motivating us to clear all the areas back then, and we did it I think with with some struggle and some ease in fifth semester. And post that, we also used to rush to teachers for internal marks, so we used to have this calculation, like if we have 30 marks as our internals and then we score a 60 in our end semester, that would again add up a 30 to the total marks, and like we would get 16 total, and there is a chance of we passing the exam. So we were never aiming for the high marks to be some kind of a topper or something like that, but yeah, just to make sure that we clear, be on the safer side, should be able to sit for placement. So that was the mindset back then when we were in our fifth. And then the placements had come. So we hardly found any time to sit in class. We either used to like, especially for people who were part of Accenture, for them the I think for the whole college back then, the eighth semester was cut down to just a month. We just finished it off in a month because we had to go join our internships in Accenture. So we hardly found any time to sit in class. We used to rush behind teachers asking for internals. We used to pray to God, go to people to get the subjects getting explained in 15 minutes for clearing our subjects. And then we were also kind of thinking of the project ideas, so like as I'm talking about the last 2 years, we also had to uh, what talk I think about the projects, final year projects, right? So for that, there is one very sacred place that we all know where we would be getting the project ideas. So that is none other than T Nagar. So we used to go to T Nagar for project ideas, because that's the easy way to get the projects. So we went there. We did go for 1-2 sessions to actually to get ideas, and then we thought we will buy projects from there, but it was very costly. So being students, we were like not able to what afford so much. It was like 15K, 16K, and 18K back then, and we were not able to afford so much. So what we did was we just took the idea from there, and we used to sit at home or in hostel or in the labs and try to complete it, the idea. But eventually we kind of failed in that. Also, we had to manipulate the end result when it had come to project ideas as well. So this is how, cut short, was my third and fourth year. uh, I had a lot of like what tensed moments and also fun in those 2 years. And then came the placements, right? So when the placements had come in, it was I think it was in seventh semester. I think first semester or fourth year. In the seventh semester when placements had come. So back then, as ma'am just said, that ours was just the second batch of ENI. Uh, we were also not like very like first thing was we did not have the actual cutoff to sit for the core company, so we were eligible for sitting for any of the IT companies. And we had this rule of you have to get placed, like if you get placed in one IT company, you'll not be allowed to sit for the other IT companies. So TCS had come first. A few people did not get selected in that, and then they were all had come to what to sitting for Accenture, right? So placements were placements really had that high pressure thing. Okay, we were all under great pressure. Our blood pressure was increasing, but we were being the macho man type. We were like kind of showing off that we actually did not have any pressure from the outside, but inside, hamara fata pada tha. So that was how tensed or we were under so much pressure when placements had come. So a lot of people used to give us advice, like our elders or our cousins who were already working or already got placed, elder ones. They were saying it's just an experience. You people chill. So we were acting in front of them like we were all chill, no pressure. But from inside, we had a little pressure thinking about placements, right? So that is always there. And we used to take our trainings, the PD personality development trainings, right? I think we have as part of our curriculum. So we used to have aptitude tests. We used to the personality development staff used to come take our interviews, and we used to. I think we also came on weekends for those interviews. So I kind of want to tell you people is take those trainings a little seriously. So there are two incidents. So one guy who had an career in personality development is right now in US driving a BMW 5 Series, and there is another person who topped in personality development. He cleared his CAT. He did his MBA from IMT Ghaziabad and is in Chennai working for a startup. So it's up to you guys to decide how seriously you want to take your personality development trainings, right? All the trainings that they used to give for aptitude and also for the interviews. And then with that, we were also what we used to rehearse in front of the mirror for the interviews, and like we used to pose in front of the mirrors as if we were having an interview, talk to ourselves and all stuff. We used to do all this, and then eventually from there on we used to go to just get carried away, and we used to go to having photo sessions in our formals. So we used to wear formals nicely, get dressed up, and have the interview session like in front of the mirrors. And from there we used to like start to a photo session. We used to just get carried away. All of us, we used to wear formals in the room. We used to stand and then start taking photos with the small digital cameras which we had back then, or with the 2 megapixel back camera phones that we had, right? So that is how it was, how we were preparing in the last 2 years, and also for the placements. So it was funny but also a great experience. We did have to like motivate ourselves. There were other staff members who were also motivating us. So these were all the things that we did. um, so, and when finally Accenture had come to SRM, right? Accenture had come to SRM for the campus placement. So these people used to come from the what the placement team, the group of team in Accenture which conducts the placements in colleges. They had come to auditorium. So you guys know about the auditorium, right? Is it still the same? Do we still conduct all these events there? The Milan, the Cultural Fest, the Tech Fest.
Yes,
Is it?
yes,
Is it? Okay.
yes.
So I don't know how it is right now, but back then when Kamal Hassan had come, when Vikram had come, when all these celebrities had come, we used to rush to the auditorium, stand on those chairs. Like I think most of the chairs were broken back then when Kamal Hassan had come, but I don't know how it is right now. So it's the same place, same auditorium where we had our placement prep talk also when Accenture had come, and when they had come in, it was more of them lecturing and telling us about what Accenture is doing, how good Accenture is, and why people should get placed in Accenture. So it was just like one of my subjects back in college. Okay, it was just like VLSA. They have been trying to put a lot of subject into our head, but it all bounced and went. So it is very large scale integration as part of the curriculum was talking about. But with respect to the talk which we were having in auditorium, it was more about very large scale irritation. Okay, so the point was we were not able to understand what they were trying to say, and we were never bothered about that. And we just wanted to know what are the stages, when the aptitude exam is going to happen, when is the interview going to happen, not interested in anything else at that point. And they also made a very fancy statement. They said that they'll like take only the creamy layer, right? But they ended up taking everybody, and that is the reason why even I am there in Accenture. So they though made that point saying that they'll take only the creamy layer, only the best, but they kind of took most of them who cleared the aptitude or the interview round, and there was no lot of scrutiny there, right? And there were some HRs who had come, very good looking, very well dressed, and that is where they kind of duped us. So till date, from the time that session had happened in auditorium or in the interviews, I have not seen those HRs in Accenture till now. I'm not sure where they are, but that is how they duped us in the first go itself, right? So yeah, post that the all the processes happened. The interviews, the session was like the placement for Accenture was for 3 days. First day we had our aptitude. Second day was the technical and HR round interview, and the last day were the results. And there were like 843 people who got selected back then in 2012, out of which 833 people were happy, and one person was very very happy, and that was me. So I still remember the day when the results were announced. I was so happy. I was on cloud nine, and that was like the most beautiful experiences that I had in SRM in the 4 years. Like seeing your name on the auditorium, your name scrolling down. I can still remember it was more like I can know like it was Poredi Anusha, Ponvarsha, and then came Prajnay Devarshetty. So I can still see that it was scrolling. The names were scrolling down on the screen in auditorium. So that kind of gave me goosebumps. I felt so happy. I was on top of the world. Uh, it was like enormous happiness back then, right? And another funny part for placements was like we had it for 3 days, as I said. So the first, and we only had one formal dress, okay, because we thought, okay, it was going to happen just for a day, so we can just wear it for one day, and next day we can probably put it for wash and all stuff. But this Accenture and TCS placement happened just for one day. They took kind of 1,200 students or 400 students in one go, and they left the campus. But Accenture stayed there. It camped for 3 days. Okay, it camped in Accenture for 3 days, and we had only one formal dress back then. So what happened was first day I wore the same thing when we had our aptitude, and I went back. We did not get our results of the aptitude, so we were thinking that I did not clear. So we were just wearing there and wearing that, and kind of till 8:30 we were sitting, and 8:30 we got a message on phone saying that you have cleared the aptitude, we'll have our interview the next day. So again, next day we had to wear the same thing. So you guys imagine in Chennai, such hot climate, and the normal body actually sweats more when they are under pressure. So under so much pressure with the hot climate, you guys can imagine how a sweat ball we were, and wearing the same formal dress for 2 days. And third day again we were called, we were asked to come, and that is when we kind of borrowed the shirt from one of my roommates. So back then, though, there were like in my room we were six of us. I was staying outside in final year, six of us, and there were only two people who were eligible. Others either did not want to sit, or they were not kind of interested in getting place in the placements. They wanted to go ahead with their higher studies or something like that. So to but we cannot hide this from our parents. So just for them to believe that we are also going and sitting for placements, everybody in my room got formal dresses. So one of my friend had come to my rescue, and so on the third day I wore his shirt and went. So I kind of still call him back and tell that your shirt was the lucky shirt, and I think that is the reason why my name had come on the list. So that is one, like that was the most happiest moment for me when I got placed and seeing my name on the board, right? Yeah. So that is how it was. The last 2 years at the placement. Uh, you guys have any questions? You guys want to ask me anything?
Hey, you can share your placement experience. I mean, how the question they asked for you.
Okay, so that that was actually very funny. I should say I should consider myself very lucky. Okay, so they had this technical round and the HR round. So when we went for the technical round, so the question that they had asked me was, "What is the scenario outside? What is going on outside?" They did not ask me any technical questions. And I was not very much prepared for the technical questions, but still I had an answer ready. If they asked me something which I did not know, I would have said confidently to them that this is something I'm not aware of, but I'm pretty sure that if you guys give me the training once I join Accenture, I'll be able to cope. I'll be able to learn it pretty fast, and I'll be able to deliver things for you. So that was my answer. That was the go-to answer that I had ready for any questions. So, but when this interview started, he asked me. He first checked my took my mark sheet, the interviewer, and he asked me why did my graph, kind of my CGPA graph, came down for the first 2 years, and then there was a slight spike in the third year, and then it was like flattened after that. So first semester I was an 8.2, and then second semester, third semester, and fourth semester it like drastically came down. And then, as I told you guys, in fifth semester, because we had this entry criteria for placements, I cleared. So I just told him the same thing, that I just got a little carried away in college with friends, etc., and other extracurricular activities and all stuff. And then I kind of got the seriousness back, and I thought I should work hard a little to at least get placed in any of for a better career. Kind of uh, a little cooked up story I just told him, and I think he was impressed. And then he asked me how is the scenario outside, how is the scenario outside, and what are people thinking about what is going on inside. Then I told him that they are asking students for wait for such a long time, and everybody outside is very tensed on about what is going on, and they're asking us what was the interview questions that they asked inside and all stuff. So I kind of told him this, and I think he got impressed. And surprisingly, I'm very lucky that I was not asked any technical questions, but as I told you, my answers were ready. um, and and then we went to the HR round. And HR round, it was more like general questions, like are you guys okay to work in any location, and then how about any shifts, are you guys okay to take up any B shifts or C shifts. So when he asked me about location, I kind of told him that I was pretty straightforward, and I told him that I would probably go back and stay with my parents. So I kind of like staying back down in any location down in South. I would prefer any of the locations here in Chennai, Bangalore, or Hyderabad. So that is what my answer was. And I think he was also fine with that. So these were very few questions I was asked. So that is, I was lucky to be saying, like, surprisingly I got placed also. I'm lucky. And even the staff members, right? I think staff members were not ready to believe that I got placed in Accenture. So I really very well remember this moment. So I was getting into the lift, like our class was there in 15th to 16th floor, right? I think it is still there, correct? Uh, so I just got into the lift, and all the staff room, like most of the staff was there in the same lift, and they kind of asked, like, "Hey, Prajni, unmiya solla, did you really get placed, or are you just making a scene out of it? And do you know anybody from Accenture? And was it any kind of recommendation case that you got placed?" So I was laughing, and I was saying, "No, no, no, it was all my talent. See, you people wouldn't believe I'm really talented, and I kind of got placed." So this also happened. Like even a lot of them were kind of not sure if I was really got placed or not, especially the staff, right? Because we used to be so notorious, and we used to have so much fun in class, sitting in the back bench. So that I'll talk about a few more, a few more like I will talk about few more funny instances that we had in class, right? So any questions? Anyone you want to ask me about anything that we have to get prepared for the placements or anything that sort?
Students,
Very
if you have
silent.
any queries, you can ask now.
ரொம்ப silent ஆ இருக்காங்க.
You can pick someone.
I will pick.
No, Vardarajan, that person was very interested to talk with you.
Okay, what was it about, Vardarajan?
He only asked us, we need 6 point 7.5 CGPA.
Yeah,
Alumni. Vardarajan,
I saw that he was
hey,
there in the call.
Vardarajan, பேசு.
மேம் அதான் மேம் பிளேஸ்மெண்ட்ல என்னெல்லாம் நடந்துச்சு 6.5 சிஜிபி வச்சுட்டு அதெல்லாம் கேக்குதா மேம்
கேளு அவன்கிட்ட கேளு.
So இப்போ answer, you got the answer, or you have few other questions?
எனக்கு புரிஞ்சிருச்சு, ஓரளவுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருச்சு.
So, but yeah, you have to be prepared. So, first funny thing is, go back to your book from your younger brothers and sisters. Okay, they will have this book called ANSYS. Okay, so make sure you have, like back then that was the trend for us. C++ was the trending IT subject that we had to be prepared. So we went to that. We got that book, and we were kind of preparing from that. But adilama, yeah, it also depends on your luck what kind of questions they are going to ask. So just be a little prepared, and also have some few generic answers like this ready. So just be a little confident when you're facing the interview. You don't have to sir yes this and when he asks some questions, right? So that way should be able to manage the interview. Okay.
And
Okay, okay.
nowadays students are not very much give importance to the placement training.
So placement training. So two things, right? When we had TCS, we had all the dumps ready. And other thing is, I was talking about one of the guy who was the topper of what uh, topper in personality development, right? This guy had cleared all the questions in TCS training, and but still they had this cutoff for only few people to be taken. So I think there was a rumor that they were not taking people who were overqualified and all stuff. But yeah, you will have to very much take all your trainings very seriously. You have to do this. You have to rehearse yourself. For the interview, Google for few common interview questions. Just be ready with that. So mostly when an interviewer is coming to pick you guys, to select you guys for any interview, they along with the knowledge that you have or the subject that you are aware of, because most of the people who are coming to take your interview wouldn't be from the same department. So there is very less probability that they would ask you anything related to your subject of whatever. Like I'm talking specifically about an IT interview, okay, and interview in an IT company, not about a core company interview. Okay, this is very specific to that. Just making it very clear. So he wouldn't be very much aware of your subjects related to your department, right? So it would be more of he would be asking you questions in a generic way, and he would see some probability of your knowledge on the subject as well as how confidently you're answering to his questions, okay, and also your good skills of how you're trying to communicate, so that you would slowly inculcate, and if you practice it mostly for the interviews. So cracking the aptitude test, you have a lot of mocks. You can try doing them. I think your teachers would anyways help you. But just do Google for few generic interview questions. Once you get them, try asking you the questions and see how you can answer it, right? Just grow, like you have to become a little more confident, and like they basically check more on the confident, how confident you are, your confidence rating, than how well versed you are. They will also consider that how well versed you are in your subjects, but also they will probably see how confident you are. So for that, your trainings are very important. Just prepare yourself for the interviews, right? Ah.
Prajnay, for Accenture, what software they need to learn?
Yeah, like what software probably, what they would mostly ask is, if I was there in interviews, I would probably ask few generic questions about what they know about Java, what is that used for, or how are they aware of the SQL query language, how much they know about it. Have they at least heard about them in their BTech? So we had this subject for C++ in our curriculum back then, but I don't know what exactly we have for IT aspects in E&I, right? So those things are pretty straightforward questions that they will be asking. So mostly they would ask a few questions about database management systems and also some coding languages if they are aware of, like Java mostly. Yeah. So yeah, if no other questions, I'll just move a little forward with what I want to talk about. It's about the Accenture trainings. So the SRM had a pact with Accenture. So as I told you, we did not have our semester holidays after seventh sem got over, and a lot of our classes in eighth semester were also called off because Accenture had come and they were doing the trainings in SRM campus itself. So we were again sitting in the biotech blocks, IT parks, and going through these stream trainings. So the Accenture trainings were very, very bored. It was like high boredom that was delivered. And sessions were much more boring than class. And that is when we realized how good our staff were and how much fun we had. And the fun that we missed in class, right? So we used to sit in class, get bored, but the most important thing was the fun that we missed. The fun that we had during our lectures in college, we kind of missed those. So most funniest thing was eating somebody's tiffin. So we had a day scholar. His parents, his mother used to prepare very good sambar sadam, rasam sadam. So we used to sit in the last bench, and this guy used to sit somewhere in the second or third row. And when the lectures were going on in class, we silently used to go like steal his bag and tiffin box and come to the last bench, sit there, and then slowly eat the tiffin. And this guy within 5 minutes used to find out that we were eating his tiffin. So not just him, most of them in the class, because as soon as you opened that sambar sadam box, it used to that aura, the aroma of that sambar sadam used to like spread through the entire class, and people used to find out that okay, these people have started eating their lunch. So this was very funny, and I was so good at giving proxies. I used to sit at same place and give proxies for three people. Later, I was caught maybe in like third year or something, and then when one staff said that your parents should be really proud of what you're doing, I felt a little bad and stopped doing that. But it was very fun giving proxies, which we were not able to do it when we were in uh, having these sessions in Accenture, right? We did not know with whom we were sitting, so we just couldn't give these proxies and eating these tiffins in middle of the sessions. And one very funny moment was there was one staff member who was going on a medical leave, and she was very strict. Okay, I'm not taking names. So she was very strict, and uh, we were like very happy that she was going on a vacation for like medical leave for 6 months or for some time. So what I did was. Uh, what we did was we kind of me being the CR took the initiative along with two other guys, Manoj and Manoj Anand from my batch. So uh, we three of us we went to the closest bakery to college. We got a 5 kg cake and we had Happy Independence Day written on it. And then we came to class and we cut the cake and we had a like we kind of enjoyed the independence from that very strict teacher. But yeah, later on we did not tell about this incident to her, but she kind of also told us like, yeah, I was being a little strict with you people. That was only for your own good. I really loved teaching you all people, and so we had that very good conversation also post we were leaving. So these were the few fun moments that I actually missed when we were having our sessions in Accenture to what we were having in college. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure that a lot of you people also would be doing something very notorious or funny in class like how we used to do. I still cherish all those moments and really enjoy them. And further, once our like one phase of training was over, we were again distributed into separate locations and based on the technologies like for testing, Java, SQL, SQL, and .NET. So these were the technologies for which they were giving us trainings. Few technologies for this they were giving us trainings, and then we were separated to a different location. So again, these were called streamlined trainings. So we were again given those trainings, and then again they said again we had exit tests. So still, there were three exit tests once we finish up our training. So if you fail in one, you have second, third opportunity, and by the second one you'll get all the dumps and you will be very confident to clear, so that's not a problem at all. And at the same time they said that they'll only take creamy layer, but they again ended up taking everybody. And once the training was over, we will be allocated to a project, right? So the project manager comes into picture here. Once our training was done, the project manager takes an interview. So that interview has not changed till today. So today I am like team lead. So I also take in few new joinees into my team once they finish up their training. So whatever questions back then my project manager had asked me, I kind of asked those same questions only. So that frame of questions has not changed. That is still the same, right? Yeah. So these were how the trainings had happened back then in Accenture, and that is how it was. So, any questions, you guys? And yeah, I would like to ask you guys a few questions. So, who is the CR of the class? Anybody who's the CR of the class is joined? No, right?
What, yeah?
Like any CR joined? Because I was also a CR. I want to talk to one of the CR. Ask them.
A CR is there. Vishwas is a CR.
Vishwas is the CR. Vishwas, hi.
Vishwa?
Yeah, he's Message. Okay. I think you'll have to take him off mute.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he's off mute. Hey, Vishwa, how are you doing, man?
Vishwa, you can unmute.
Hello, ma'am.
Ah, Prajnay is asking some question.
It's not a question, it's just fun question. So, Vishwa, like being CR, what motivates you to come to college here? Are you in second year or third year?
Third year.
Oh, you're in third year. So, yeah, what motivates you to be coming to college being CR? Nothing?
Just friendship and group of friends gather
Sorry?
around. Just making a hanging out of friends and having a very good time in college.
Oh, so you enjoy coming to college for meeting and talking to your friends, not for the lectures at all, right? How do you find your lectures? Interesting?
Good.
Good.
Knowledgeable.
Okay. What are you saying?
Knowledgeable or like informative sometimes.
Sometimes boring, is it?
You could say.
See, when you were, no, Prajnay, when you were studying, you don't have any free hours. From the morning till the
Oh,
evening, you have to be there. But these guys
yeah.
have a choice-based system. So they can choose their
Okay.
faculty. They have more free hours.
Okay. We considered all 8 hours as free hours only. We used to sit to chill in the last bench. So, but yeah, as you said, yeah, that is what actually motivates most of us to come to office, making friends and yeah, talking to them. And what kind of a CR are you? Are you the like when the teacher gives you some material, do you collect money from all your classmates and then distribute it to them who had paid you the money, or you just give it to whoever wants it, and then the cycle happens from there? Something that you guys follow?
We just
Vishwa,
scan the copy. That's it.
Sorry.
We just scan the copies and post it, so no need of making copies and doing anything.
Oh, okay. It has changed now, right? The trend. How do you guys do it?
Camp scanner, we scan the material from faculties and we just post it and submit.
Okay, so you directly read it from your laptop. You don't even have to take Xerox copies.
not laptop, only mobile. Always carrying mobile.
And carry the same mobile to your midterm exams also, right? Are you allowed to do that and directly copy from that? No?
Yes.
It used to be fun. We used to like there were a few people who used to copy this. I think micro Xerox and all stuff. It used to be fun. So we used to see like if really somebody is going to catch them today, are they going to get caught or not? So that also used to be fun moment. And if they were caught, instead of being tensed, we used to make so much fun of them. We used to pull their legs so badly. They Enada, what is this? You don't even know how to copy. What are you going to do in your life and all stuff? So that was
In those days, when you were studying, the people those are caught for malpractice will not take more action. But nowadays, we are canceling the paper, all the papers.
oh, so they have to write the exam again.
Not again, we will cancel the paper. So zero.
Then again, we'll have to pay money, right? Some
And
10,000 or
even
something.
no, this is for CT, not for university. But even some
Okay.
people are doing, we couldn't find.
Yeah, of course. We students will find few new innovative ways of doing it. Yeah. Any day the staff cannot find it. We will take some time to find it. Right. Yeah. So yeah, anybody wants to talk about what is your favorite subject and why is it your favorite subject? Should I pick someone?
Yes, Vardarajan.
Okay, Vardarajan in the top of class.
Vardarajan.
How many of them are from Chennai? Like Tamil Nadu? Do you have the same mix?
No, in the third years, most of the people are Tamilian only.
Acha, acha. So when we were there, I think there were very few. I think very few people from Chennai and what the college had a lot of Telugu people, but in our department, I think there were very few people. Right. So yeah, Vardarajan, you want to talk about your favorite subject? Why do you think it's your favorite subject?
இல்ல எதுல
And
மார்க் வந்தா அது ஃபேவரட் சப்ஜெக்ட் அவ்வளவுதான்.
Okay. So for me personally, I do not like this.
These are all notorious student.
Ah.
Varadarajan, Armugam,
Oh.
then
நம்மள மாதிரி லாஸ்ட் பெஞ்ச்ல உட்காந்து சோம்பு அப்படி சாப்பிட்டு மாட்டினவங்க தானே நீங்க.
நாங்க மாட்ட மாட்டோம்
சஞ்சீவி
bro.
நாங்க மாட்டினோம்
Sanjeevi.
ப்ரோ. We were caught one of the class, right? I think it was communication engineering, Vibha ma'am's class. So
அவங்க தான் கிளாஸ்
we took
இன்சார்ஜ்.
ஐயோ சொல்லிட போறீங்க. So we were
நாங்க
eating
சொல்ல
soap.
போறோம்.
We were eating som papdi in class, and I think we were making a lot of noise also while eating. We were like passing on the box, and then she kind of turned around and she asked, "Enada pandringa?" We said like nothing, ma'am, nothing. And we stood up, and there was som papdi all over our mouth. So she found out you guys are eating. Get out of the class. Eventually, வெளிய அனுப்பிச்சாங்க. I think it was during our communication engineering class. Still takes. So அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது பண்ணுவீங்களா அட்டகாசம்? You guys do anything of that sort? No.
ஹலோ ஒரே ஒரு டவுட்.
ம்
ஒரு டவுட் ப்ரோ.
சொல்லுங்க.
4 வருஷம் ENDல படிச்சது ஏதாச்சும் ஒன்னாச்சு யூஸ் ஆச்சா?
ஏதாவது ஒன்னாச்சு யூஸ் ஆச்சுன்னா ஸோ ரொம்ப கம்மியா யூஸ் ஆயிருக்கு. டு பி ரியலி ஃப்ராங்க் வித் யூ, மேபி ஐட் ஹவ் புட் டு மோர் யூஸ் இஃப் ஐ வுட் ஹவ் ஒர்க்ட் இன் எனி கோர் கம்பெனி. பட் தேர் ஆர் பீப்புள் ஹூ ஆர் ஒர்க்கிங் இன் கோர் கம்பெனி ஆர் யூசிங் வாட் எவர் தே ஹவ் ஸ்டடிட் இன் E&I. ஸோ ஒன் ஆஃப் மை ஃப்ரெண்ட் Praneeth, he is working in a what is it, iron and core industry. So he is mostly using whatever he did study from E&I, and so all this PLC process, etc. So he is kind of using all those concepts. But me personally, I'm not kind of implementing whatever I did learn. So college, I would tell, despite of the subjects that you have, it is more of how you kind of become more mature when you go to any of these corporates is what it teaches you. It is what I learned in person. I was very much, I was not very interested in most of the curriculum subjects that we had. Few were very interesting, control systems, things like that. Wherever we had to apply maths, I was doing it very well. But whatever theoretical subjects, I was very bad. So நீ கேட்ட கேள்விக்கு no, not much. But yeah, maybe the industry knowledge and the மாதிரி you will gain from your subjects in the end. So don't go with that thought, okay, I think whatever I'm going to learn now is always when I join. Not everything is not your particular subject is uh, going to impact what job you're doing, but on and whole it would, like, you wouldn't even able to relate to what you learned. But yeah, you would have gained from this experience and you would be implementing it there. So on the மாதிரி யூஸ் வரும். Okay. So are you guys like the lateral entry batches were also very fun? Okay, they were in a different league, and we used to have so much fun sitting with this lateral entry gang, right? So it was also very fun. I'm not sure if any one of them joined this session. They also used to be very funny in class. Yep. Okay, so a few more experiences before take any other questions. Just want to talk about my experience in Accenture, the ones I joined. So it was, again, first thing is about the salary package. We got duped there as well. So they said your package is going to be so much, 3 lakhs or 3.5 lakhs, but out of which a lot of them went in cuttings of your food voucher, your Sodexo coupons, um, your meal coupons, your PF, etc., which I still don't understand. I don't want to also, and just leave it for it to like get deducted from my account automatically. So that's not the exact picture like how they say. There are a lot of deductions that you guys need to understand. So that is something. The payroll policy is very. You need to apply some maths there for us to understand. And the major transformation was from jeans to formals, right? So this again, I want to relate to something that used to happen in college. In college, we never used to wear our ID cards. We never used to button our like the top button of the shirt, and we used to like roam around as if we were some like what mathemans in college. So we remember Jocelyn sir, Krishna Swami sir coming and telling us, "Hey, put that ID card and put that button on." So, and they also used to come into classroom and pull our, we have this rolling chairs, right? They used to just pull and see if we were wearing flip flops or we were like wearing proper footwear to college. And they also made it very clear. They made this point very clear. They were saying that if you guys are not getting used to wearing your ID cards now or not getting dressed up properly, so how are you guys going to tackle it when you go into corporate world, right? So that is exactly is what is happening. So back then we were thinking, why are they being so strict with us students? Why they want to put all these rules? Or they're pointless. We thought they were pointless back then, but now we see it. Even when we are trying to enter into the campus, our office campus, there is the security guy who tells her, please put your ID card on. So just make it a practice. So you guys will not like it initially, but you will get used to it. And the other thing is you will see extra attention and no tolerance for anything that is against the women employees. So till then you would have just heard people talking about all this women empowerment and stuff, but you would see that is actually being implemented in these corporate offices, right? So you would also learn a lot of things there. You would also kind of tell other people about what is good that needs to be done for women empowerment. So in Accenture, we kind of are seeing to have 50% of female employees by end of 2025 in the higher management level and things like that. So we also have, like, along with the dress policy, there are a lot of other policies that you're not supposed to take photos inside the campuses, which is way, way, way different from how it was in college, right? So we, apart from the, I think even in classrooms we were like allowed to take photos when there was no class going on. We were allowed to take photos in your mobile phones, right? But it is not allowed there back in Accenture. And also in corporate world, mostly for the service based companies. So there are two different types of companies. One would be service based, one would be product based. If you guys have any doubts regarding that, you can ask me. But for mostly for the service based, it was like the client is our god, right? Whatever client says, we will just blindly, no questions asked, we used to blindly build the software and give him that service. And also we will be very particular about handling his client data, and all of this we will do it for very handsome price tag. So what Accenture does is it would probably charge a good amount of money for the services they are providing to the client, and out of which they would give some amount as our salary, and rest of it Accenture would keep it for their own stuff, for developing or building their infrastructure or technology or things like that, right? And another transformation that I have seen, like when I joined Accenture as an ASC, and I got promoted to software engineer, senior software engineer, and now team lead. So in the initial stages, uh, I used to open Google, where I used to kind of search for something that is trending. In the starting 2 years, I used to open Google and search for whatever is trending. And in another tab, I used to have the Hindu open. So that was for the first 2 years. And later on, when I got promoted, become some senior guy in the team, and I was opening the tool which was related to the project. And now that I am the team lead for my team, I just go open the reports and see what is the work left, what needs to be completed, and how I'm supposed to divide it among my teammates and all stuff. So this is the actual transition that I have seen in these past 8 years. Personally, this is like the personal experience that I'm putting in front of you. So from Google, Hindu to the tool which is related to project and to reports. So that is how life has changed over these 8 years, right? And and I think most of us are already kind of prepared for tackling the pressure in office, right? That's because and that is also one of the reasons why these corporates take BTech and BE graduates, because what happens is when we sign up for some project, it comes with some timeline. So we are supposed to finish the development of that project, testing of that project, and deliver it, send it to production within some timelines, right? And what we do is just like how we used to prepare for our exams, like end semester exams. So starting of the semester, we wouldn't try preparing much. Just before the exam, one night batting, like it's like we just read through all the sub units in one day, and in the morning go and write the exam. So it's same thing happens in the, if the project timeline is for a month. So first 2 weeks you wouldn't do anything. You just sit thinking, analyzing how it can be implemented, how it needs to be developed, tested, and all. And once when the deadlines come closer, you would again start working for some extra hours and trying to cope up for that. So you guys are already trained for it. Most of us who are doing BTech doing our end semester exams, so we guys are already trained for it. So we don't have to really be much worried about it. And the project interviews which I have told, now I kind of do interview for people who are coming in. So I kind of ask them the same questions if they are willing to work uh, for some extra hours on that any particular day if there is work, and then ask few 2 or 3 small questions from the stream training that they had in when they joined Accenture, right? So the trend has been same for the past 8 years. It's the same thing that I'm following. There was no change in that. And the last one would be like I'm kind of being like, now that it's been 8 years, I hear from the new joiners or the people who joined and have spent some 3-4 years in the project calling me old. Yeah, I agree to it. I'm 28 years old, but I don't want to believe that. Okay, so what I do is I kind of try to learn the things which you people, the Gen Z people, do, right? Like downloading Snapchat, sending good snaps to them. So just to make me feel that even I am having that youth blood running in me, and then also I still act like some like new joinee, right? So to full of enthusiasm, go talk to them, make them feel comfortable, so that they can come and talk to me freely and ask me any questions, so and have that casual talks. And so these are the things that right now I have inculcated, I'm trying to do, so that I can like enjoy my time with these younger people who have joined my project. So yeah, so that's about my experiences in corporate life. And another very important thing which I enjoyed a lot was the cafeterias. Like we had a great cafeterias. It is still as huge as how we have in our SRM college, the tech park cafeteria or the main campus one. So, and it's still the same. If you go at 1 o'clock, the peak lunch hours, you wouldn't get table to sit. Okay, so you would still be like, your group would be around the table where people are already sitting and eating. You will be staring at their plates waiting for them to finish off their food. And then and then once they are done, we would like occupy it, like put our tiffin box there on the table, go get plates or wash our hands. It's like same like booking your bus seat, right? It's the same thing. And another fun thing is the new joiners, just they come in, whenever they have their break, they come to the cafeteria, they put their bags on the table, and they kind of sleep or lie down, take some rest, and make me feel really happy to like go scare them off. I would be like going to them and saying that yes. Are you guys done with your lunch? If yes, can you please give us the table? We want to use it. And they were like, okay, yes, sir, because they just joined, right? So this is something again which I used to enjoy back in college also. Not ragging the juniors, but yeah, kind of scaring them a little, which I enjoyed. And I still enjoy doing that in our college, in office cafeterias. And the breakouts are also something new for us when we joined Accenture in corporate. I think it's there in most of the corporate places. Breakouts are very beautiful places where you have these coffee vending machines, bean bags. So when we joined as an AAC, like every floor had one breakout. What we used to do is we used to find the best breakout in the whole Accenture building. So with the bean bags and with good coffee machine, and we used to sit there for hours, never bothered about what was going on in the project. And suddenly we used to get a call from one senior person. Um in college, sorry, in office, one senior person from the team saying that today project manager is searching for you. Please do come, and that is when we used to go. So from even that transformation, now I rarely go to breakouts. I just get my coffee, sit at the desk, and have my coffee. So that is how it was when I joined, and now like as I like grew up the ladder, these are few things I inculcated, and it's something that has changed now. Yeah. So I think that is all I have. You guys have anything to share? Um, like, do you guys still have the problem with the ACs in your classrooms? Are they working fine? It never worked for us when we were there.
ஏசியே இல்லை
Some
ப்ரோ.
AC இல்லையா? இப்பயும் அப்படியே ஏமாத்துறாங்களா?
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் மட்டும் காய்ச்சல் ஏமாத்திட்டாங்க.
And how about the lift lines? Still, do you need to wait for the lift?
No, they have increased the lifts.
So this lift line during exams, we used to see people stand in huge queues. They were still used to be had some like 30 minutes or 40 minutes before examination. They used to still stand there and prepare. We also used to laugh. Yeah, kitna hi prepare karega? It's going to be the same now. So that is also one place where people used to stand and prepare. So that also has very good. And there was free fall, lift when initially I think Tech Park was constructed. People used to just rush into the lifts, and I think the lift had free fall two to three times. People were injured also, and then they came up with this queue system, even odd lifts and all stuff. Yeah, so these were few moments which I would like to cherish and think about back in college. Yeah, now over to you guys. You guys want to talk about anything? How do you guys are managing this lockdown? How do you guys think corporate would be?
Trips. See, when in your period, they don't have you don't have any tour, am I right?
Yeah, we had one industrial visit, and that too was some institute. I don't think it was a proper industry. It was some
CSIR, bro. CSIR.
sorry,
CSIR. CSIR.
CSIR and Nungam
Taramani,
Patanam
Taramani.
one place.
Nongam
Taramaniya.
Bakam.
Technocrat.
Technocrat. I think that was some institute.
ಕಫೇನೆ ಕೇಳ್ರ
We used to
Maltitanga.
go. Matitanga. Yeah. So how is CSIR? Very interesting IV, industrial visit.
செப்டம்பர் 23 கூட்டு போயிடுவாங்க அங்க.
என்னது?
இயர்லி ஒன்ஸ் எங்களை கூட்டு போயிடுவாங்க.
ஸோ செகண்ட் இயர்லயும் கூட்டு போனாங்க, தேர்ட் இயர்லயும் அங்கேயும் கூட்டு போனாங்களா?
ஆமா.
என்ன மேம் இப்படி பண்றீங்க? So yeah, you guys plan your own industrial visits, sir. You guys go.
They went to Goa. வா எங்க போனீங்க?
Industrial
கூட்டிட்டு போயிட்டாலும் ஆசைதான்.
இல்ல எங்க போனாங்க ரீசன்ட்டா?
நாங்க when we were in college, we went to this coffee factory in Valparai. Valparai, yeah. So we said it is an industrial visit, but it was more of a fun trip. We chumma over 2.5 hours we went to that coffee factory and came back. So that's the industrial visit. Adik mala you shouldn't be looking forward for anything much. So you people plan separately and go to Goa or maybe anything. And I think BTech la irukumbodhu da nalla budget trip you guys can plan. We can just finish it off in few thousand rupees. Now after joining to some job, you will see money coming every month. You guys will start spending it a little lavishly. So இப்போ போயிட்டு வாங்க. You have all your trips right now in BTech. So how many of you are like planning to go for higher studies post BTech, or how many of you are planning to have like go with placements, get placed, or is it too early for you people to decide? Anybody has any questions? I think very silent group this is. Last time it was, I think it was in person, and I think I was able to interact a lot better. But I think this is very silent group.
You pick out some students and ask.
Yeah, actually.
Sanjeevi.
Okay, Sanjeevi, what do you think is that you're planning to do? I think, are you getting prepared for your placements, or what's the plan?
Placements தான் சார்.
Okay, Prajnay கூப்பிடலாம். Placements, okay. So you're in second year or third year?
Third year.
So okay, how are the companies coming this time? Like any idea of?
தெரியல சார்.
Okay, I think maybe your placement team will be updating you, right? Okay.
தெரியல, கொரோனா அவுட் பிரேக்னால எப்படி இருக்கும்னே தெரியல.
கொரோனா அவுட் பிரேக்னால maybe it would get slowed down a little bit. So this was, I think, similar to what had happened back in 2008. There was some kind of recession, but it would slow down. But eventually, I guess there will be room for everybody in IT and corporate. So it will pick up. It will also pick up at the same pace. So you guys don't have to worry much. Just give it some time. I think everything will happen eventually. Yeah, and whoever kind of want to, like, three ways, right? Whoever wants to pursue their higher studies and go ahead, they can actually try doing it right away. I think There are a lot of my friends who wanted to kind of work for 2-3 years and then do their MBA. Even I, that was one of my plans also, but I thought, okay, BTech was sufficient for me. I was pretty sure that I couldn't study more, so I just continued once I started doing well in Accenture. So anybody who has the plan of going ahead for your higher studies, I think you should also start kind of not preparing very hardly, but also just see of how things happen, right? At least the process, just to be on the safer side. And then whoever want to pursue your placements or get placed, just take your few trainings seriously. Okay. So few final words, guys. So don't panic much about your placements. There's, as I told you, there's a lot of place for everyone in the corporate world, and there is, and in IT, it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of money, and worthless experience. So though there would be a little slowdown because of this lockdown, but I guess it will all set up pretty well, and I think it will kind of cope up real fast, unlike other industries, right? And yeah, finally, all the very best to every one of you. Do not screw it up. Okay, it's very easy. Take one step at a time, and yeah, try concentrating on that. Pretty.
Prajnay, I want
Yeah.
to inform one thing. And in third year,
Mm-hmm.
we have one student. His name is Armugam. He had a world record in cubic. What is
Rubik's
that?
cube. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
he done
nice.
for one day, one-handed he did, I think. Armugam,
இருக்கு
எப்படி
இருக்கு
you
பாப்பானா
share your
சொல்லி
experience.
கொடுப்பா
You share your experience, what you did.
எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸா
தமிழ்ல சொல்லு கேட்டு ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு
என்ன பண்ணேன்னு சொல்லு.
நான் என்ன பண்ணேன்னா ரூபிக்ஸ் கியூப் 124 ஹவர்ஸ்
காட்டு, உன்
கண்டினியூஸா
face
பண்ணேன்.
காட்டு.
என் பேச கட்டுப்பா காட்டுற நிலைமையில இல்லையே நான்.
சும்மா காட்டு, யாருன்னு தெரியணும்ல.
ஏய்
தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம்.
பழகிக்கோ இனிமேல் இப்படிதான் இருக்கும் பாரு.
லைட் கூட இல்லையே.
ஏன்டா இருட்டுல என்னடா பண்ற, வெளியே வாடா.
வர லைட் போட்டு வர ஒரு செகண்ட். யாருக்கு தெரியும் வீடியோலாம் ஆன் பண்ண சொல்லுவாங்கன்னு. இப்ப தெரியுதா?
தெரியும். வேற யூ ஃப்ரம் ஆர்முகம், எங்க இருந்து?
சென்னை நீலாங்கரை ஈசிஆர்.
நீலாங்கரையா? ஓகே ஓகே.
என்ன சொல்லுங்க,
சொல்லு என்ன பண்ண அது சொல்லு.
நான் ரூபிக்ஸ் கியூப் 24 ஹவர்ஸ் சால்வ் பண்ணேன்.
24 hours பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருந்தியா?
ஒன் ஹேண்ட்ல.
ஒன் ஹேண்ட்ல. அப்போ லைக் வேர் யூ பிராக்டிசிங் ஃபார் இட் லைக் ஆர் இட் வாஸ்
நான் 7 இயர்ஸா கியூப் பண்றேன்.
Okay, but for doing it for 24 hours, how did you like என்னல பண்ண for continuous 24 hours பண்ணனும்?
இல்ல டெய்லி பண்றது தான் 7 வருஷமா நல்ல பழக்கம் எனக்கு. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி இன்னொரு வேர்ல்ட் ரெக்கார்ட் வச்சிருக்கேன். சைக்கிள் ஓட்டிட்டே 1010 ரூபிக்ஸ் கியூப் பண்ண செகண்ட் வேர்ல்ட் ரெக்கார்ட்.
So what is it? Cycle?
Most number of Rubik's cubes solved while driving bicycle.
How were you able to do it? Were you not holding your handlebar? எப்படி பாப்பனா?
Handlebar வந்து கை இப்படி வச்சு.
Okay. For how long were you riding your cycle அப்போ?
கூகுள்ல தேடி பாருங்க ஆர்டிகல்ல.
சொல்ல மாட்டியா அப்ப நீ?
என்னத்த நாயடா சொல்றது என்ன பத்தி?
சரி கூகுள்ல தேடி பாத்துக்கிறேன். அதுதான் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம் பல வருஷமா ஐடில. அதுதான் பண்ண போறோம் உன்ன பத்தியும். சரியா? சரி. So how are you people all? Yeah, whom should I ask? I'll ask. I see, Abhay Charan. So how are you? Kind of getting used to lockdown. How are your curriculum, like classes, going on? Abhay or Abhimanyu? I see them on my screen.
Second year, I think. Abhimanyu.
How is the timings? What is the timings? How are you guys doing it?
Abhimanyu?
All of you get some good internet plan first. Slow, slow.
Abhimanyu,
பேச மாட்டேங்கிறான். நீங்களே சொல்லுங்க யாராவது.
என்ன கேட்ட?
Like என்ன what is their curriculum during lockdown? Are they joining classes online?
They have more fun, I think.
ஆமா ப்ரோ, லாக்டவுன்ல போய் கிளாஸ் அசைன்மெண்ட் உயிர் வாங்குறாங்க.
அதான் ஃபுல் 8. ஓகே, வீட்ல பண்றீங்களாப்பா அசைன்மெண்ட்? ஓகே, நல்லா
பண்ணிதான்
அசைன்மெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு யூ ஆல்சோ ஆஸ்க் ஃபார் குட் இன்டர்னல் மார்க்ஸ். ஓகே, ஃபார் யுவர் அசைன்மெண்ட்ஸ் 5 மார்க்ஸ் வெயிட்டேஜ் என்னமோ இருக்கும்ல ஃபார் யுவர் அசைன்மெண்ட். அது இன்னும் இருக்கா அப்படியே? இட்ஸ் ஸ்டில் தேர்
For hello,
யா ஹலோ.
they take the CT3. We didn't have a CT3. Now we are having a 3 cycle test pattern. It was just 2 cycle tests and one final.
Okay,
Vishwa,
the
can you
assignment.
talk louder?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Previously it was like 2 cycle tests and one final exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like 3 cycle tests and one final exam.
Okay. And assignments, they are there, still
5
there,
marks
no?
as usual and
Hmm.
5 marks for surprise test.
What? Suppressed test? Okay, 5 marks for suppressed. So how strict are the staff with respect to the surprise test? Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. If you guys kind of Rahul Dev, you want to talk something? I think he just unmuted.
யாரு? ராகுல்லா? ராகுல்?
எல்லாருமே வண்டி ஓட்டிட்டே பேசுறாங்க. ஸ்மார்ட் கைஸ். Okay. I think that is pretty much all I had to talk about. Um, no, I'm not married. டேய், இது என் தம்பி தான் கேக்குறான். You would get invitation if I get married, so don't worry. Hello.
Rahul, speak louder.
Canada bottom.
Okay,
think it's been-
Srinidhi.
yeah.
Srinidhi.
Ma'am,
Ah,
ma'am,
அன்மியூட் போட்டு வேற எங்கேயோ பேசிக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
okay. Okay, Srinidhi, start பண்ணு.
I would like to thank our HOD Vimla Juliet ma'am and coordinator Asana ma'am for arranging this webinar session. Thanks to our alumni for giving us very informative talk during your busy schedule. We were very much enjoyed hearing your experience and also made us inspired. I would like to thank all our students for attending the meeting and thank you very much everyone.
Thanks for the kind words. Thank you.
ரொம்ப ஒரிஜினலா இருக்கேன்.
அப்படியே
புரிஞ்சா நீ பேச ஆறு.
ஓகே, சில் சில்.
அவன் ரூபிக்ஸ் கியூப்ல பிஸியா இருப்பான், பேச மாட்டான்.
அதே
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks all.
Yeah, talk was very nice. Yeah, I think
Thank
people
you.
are interested, but some people don't have a proper cover. I think that's why they couldn't speak. If you have in class, it will be more interactive.
Okay, I will try doing that next time.
இருந்த 3 அலுமினி டாக்ல இதான் ப்ரோ லைட்டா யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்துச்சு.
ரொம்ப ஐயோ சீனா
இல்ல bro,
படாத
பாக்கி 2 பேருமே
Relatable-ஆ இருந்தது.
வந்து பேசுறாங்க.
ஆ.
எனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே புரிஞ்சிக்க முடியல.
இதுதான்
இத படிக்கணும் அத படிக்கணும் 95% தான். இப்ப எங்க போய் 95% எடுக்குறது? ஆல்ரெடி 6 தான் இருக்கு. 20 எடுத்தாதான் 10 வரும் எனக்கு இதுக்கு மேல.
6.5 வரைக்கும் வாங்கிக்கோ, அதுக்கு மேல தேவையில்ல. இப்போ உனக்கு பிளேஸ்மெண்ட் உட்காரணும்னா இல்ல இங்க இட்ஸ் ஸ்டில் ஃபைன். யூ கைஸ்
ஒரே
இஃப் யூ
சிம் தான் இருக்கு.
still have some other plans, கண்டிப்பா அது பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, ஐ
நெக்ஸ்ட்
திங்க்
வீக் வரதராஜன் பிரேயர் ஆறுமுகம். நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் இவனோட ஃப்ரெண்டு தான் வரான்.
அவன் இன்னும் வாழு. அவனை வச்சு நல்லா வாங்குங்க, சரியா?
நீங்களும் ஜாயின் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
நான் பண்றேன். அவன் அங்கதான் இருப்பான், குரோம்பேட்ல தான் இருப்பான். He
எங்க
stays there.
குரோம்பேட்ல இருக்கானா சஞ்சீவி?
ஏரியா தான்.
உங்க ஏரியா.
ஏரியா பாய்ஸ்.
ஏரியா போய்
ஸ்ரேயாஸ் நல்லா படிப்பான்ல பிராஜனே?
அவனா?
ஆமா.
என்னோட தம்பி எப்படி படிப்பான்? யூ டிசைட். He is my brother.
Ma'am, 7.2 CGPA, ma'am.
ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் யார் இருக்காங்க? எல்லாம் தமிழ் தானே இருக்கீங்க? ஓகே. பிராஜனையோட பிரதர் வந்து இங்கதான் இருக்கான். ஸ்ரேயாஸ் உன் ஃபேஸ் காமி.
Actually, I've not yet bathed, ma'am, so I don't really look good.
You will not smell in this WebEx call, okay? Nobody is gonna get it.
ஸ்ரேயாஸ் வந்து 2016 பேட்ச். அவன் வந்து சிஆரா தான் இருந்தான். அவனும்
ஃபேமிலியா நாங்க சிஆராவே ஆகிறதுக்கு முடிவெடுத்தோம்.
Yeah.
ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் ஸ்ரேயாவோட ஒரு டாக் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ண போறேன். என்ன ஸ்ரேயாஸ் ஆர் யூ ரெடி? நோ?
போயிட்டான்.
சரி, ஓகே.
தெலுங்கு படம் பாக்குறேன் நினைக்கிறேன்.
சண்டை போடுறான் வீட்டுல அம்மா.
இங்க திட்டுறானா தெரியலையே.
சரி பிராஜனே. ஹாய் ஸ்ரேயாஸ்.